Welcome everyone, I am Sharon Sims from Equipoise Digital, joined today by John Scotland from AIC, the Applied Innovation Centre. Today we're going to be talking about change management. So John, change management, what is it? I mean, change has been around forever, it's part of life. Why does a business need to learn to manage the change? What is that all about?
I think it's because it is part of life, and I think over the last 10 to 15 years we've just seen this exponential explosion of change happening both digitally, socially, economically, technologically. It's just around us and affecting us in every aspect of our lives. And the people are finding it, and I think when you look at some of the mental health statistics, people are finding the pace of change sometimes quite challenging.
Okay, so it's not something that naturally happens within an organisation then?
Well, organisations that are going to survive will make changes, and leaders are about change, they're about improvement. But often organisations would prefer to be able to make improvements according to their own pace.
Of course.
But because the environment, the international environment, the local environment is changing all the time, organisations have to make changes in order to survive, in order to thrive. So individuals and people find it hard often to manage this change. And what we do at the Applied Innovation Centre is train leaders, individuals to recognise that everyone has a fairly predictable response to change.
Okay.
And some people will move through that response very quickly, others will take a long time, depending on the situation for them. So as an example, in a workplace you may find that just a simple example would be a team has to move from one floor of an office building to another floor, and where perhaps the view's not so great and perhaps the facility's not so good, or everyone's got very familiar with that upper floor and they don't want to move downstairs. There's a whole range of reasons why they don't want to move. And so you'll find some people will jump at the opportunity. They say there's so many new opportunities in this next floor down. Other people will think, well, things are okay now, why should I move? In fact, are we actually moving? So we have this idea that people will often sit in denial that change is going to occur. And some people, when they learn about the change, they don't like it. And they'll resist in a whole range of ways. They'll be late, they'll perhaps get into conflict, their performance will drop. Okay. And the need is for people to be able to move from there and start exploring what are the benefits, what are the opportunities, what can I do that might bring value to the organisation that I like doing. And then once they've looked at those options, they then move on and make a commitment. Wonderful. And you often find performance go like that from denial here, and often when they're going through that resistance exploration phase, their performance might drop for a while, and then when they make a commitment to whatever option they're looking at and to the new normal, performance will improve.
So how does AIC come into that? What do you actually do? What do you offer in the workplace?
The important thing is that people are aware of what's happening for themselves. First of all, that they do have a response to change, and everyone needs to fully understand that. And so we provide information and awareness sessions for people to understand change. They can identify where they are on the change curve, and there are different things that they need to do depending on which stage they're at. Very practical things that can help them move. The second thing we do is provide leadership development. And leaders, by their very nature, are about change anyway, and they really need to know how to help their people through change. So they need to know what the leaders' responsibilities are here in creating a really strong and compelling shared purpose for the change, being able to help their team through the difficulties they might experience in the change, to help them explore and then make commitments. So the leaders have a strong role. So there's those two aspects, the leadership development work, the information and awareness for employees, helping everyone move through that change as quickly as possible.
Yeah, incredibly valuable, isn't it? Thank you so much for expanding my awareness around change management. That's, like I said, it's really expanded my awareness, and a valuable service that you're offering individual businesses. So thank you, John.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Stay tuned for our next video in the series.